Hello, tonight I'm going to show you how to layer your farm or layer your crops in Farmtown. So I recently bought a new farm, so let me go to that one. It has nothing on it. I'm going to make it my default farm, so I click the farm name, make default farm, yes. I'm going to do preferences, I'm going to do none, but I'm going to show crops. Okay? Then I'm going to plow my fields. Because this is a new farm and I'm going to be using it basically just for farming crops, I'm going to plow out the whole field. So touchy. Okay. Click my green guy. Click Save Pending Changes. Okay. You know what? I think when I'm recording, it's not showing my tabs in YouTube unless you do full screen. But we're going to be using tabs up here. These are tabs up here. Okay, so we made it our default farm, and we went into preferences, none except show crops, and when I talk about layering, it's using different time frame crops. So in essence, we're going to have a bottom layer, a middle layer, and a top layer. So we can do 6-day crops, 5-day crops, and 4-day crops all on the same farm. Or you can do 4-day crops, 3-day crops, 2-day crops all on the same farm. Or you can do 12-hour crops, 8-hour crops, 4-hour crops all on the same farm. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do 4-hour, 2-hour, and 1-hour crops. Just so later on I can do another video showing you how to harvest and plow the layered farms, because it's a little different. You can't use the combo tool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this farm 421, 4-hour, 2-hour, 1 hour. I'm going to put an H here, so I know it's hours and not days. And I'm also going to put an A, because that's my first farm with 421 hour crops. Kind of makes sense, you know. And then I'm going to hit save. So now we know it's a 4-hour, 2-hour, 1 hour crop on this particular farm that we're working on. So the next thing you want to do is go offline. Now you go to play and you right click and you open link in new tab. Okay, and the same farm shows up 421 hour A, and we're gonna go offline. Then you go back to play, right click, open link in new tab. Now you got your third tab, or your top layer, which is where your 1 hour crops will go, or your least amount of time required to grow crop. So if you're doing 6x4 days, then your 4-day would go up here on your third tab, or top layer. I like to think of my tabs as layers. So my third tab up here would be my top layer. My second tab is going to be my middle layer. And my first tab is going to be my bottom layer, which is where your longest growing crops would go, on the bottom layer. Okay, but right now we're still on the third tab, which is the top layer. We're going to go offline. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to start with my 4 hour. So I'm going to go back to my first tab, which is my bottom layer. I'm going to go and get my sower. I'm going to check out what I need most of, and I'm going to change it to 4 hours. Stored amount. It says I need coriander the most, so I'm going to buy coriander and I'm going to plant it. Okay, and I'm going to hit save pending changes. Now I'm going to go to my middle layer, or my second tab, and that's where my 2 hour crops are going to go. So I'm going to get my sower. I'm going to go to 2 hour crops. I'm going to go to stored amount, and it says I need fennel. So I'll plant my fennel. Okay, and hit save pending changes. Now I'm going to go to my top layer, or my third tab, and that's my 1 hour crop. So I get my sower, go to 1 hour. There's only leek there, so we'll buy that, and we'll plant it. Okay, and we'll hit save pending changes. Okay, now, mind you, we've been offline, all 3 tabs, okay? So in the first tab, we planted our 4 hour. In our second tab, we planted our 2 hour. And in our third tab, we planted our 1 hour. So now we want to go and close the previous 2 tabs. Go back online, hit preferences, show all, save pending changes, and refresh your farm. Now, you see only leek is showing, okay? But we know, according to the name of the farm, that we have other crops underneath. So what I like to do is I go to the bottom left-hand corner, and I delete. So go to your tools, go over to your bulldozer, get the one that only clears 1 plot at a time, and I'm going to do 2 for each layer. So 1, delete this, yes. 2, delete this, yes. 3, and 4. Okay, green guy. The first 2 are for the middle layer, and the last 2 are for the last layer. Go ahead and refresh your farm. And now when you go down here to the left corner, you're going to see leeks, and underneath leeks is fennel. Well, we've got other things under fennel now too. So we're going to delete these two here. So go back and get your bulldozer. 1, 2, we're going to delete 3 and 4. Okay, hit your green guy and refresh your farm. Go back down to your left hand corner, and now you're going to see we got our leek on top. Underneath our leek we have fennel, which is going to take 2 hours, and underneath our fennel we've got coriander, which is going to take 4 hours. Other than the name of the farm, this is another way to know you've done it correctly, number one. And number two, as your crops grow, you can just look at the lower left hand corner and know that you have other fields of crops underneath. And that is how you layer your crops in Farmtown. Okay? You can do it with day crop, like 543 day. You would just change that to a D. You could do 321 day. You can do 1284 hour. I just find that naming the farm helps to remind me also to look in the lower left hand corner. Now, when you go to harvest and plow, it's done differently, which is why I chose these little time frame crops. So in 4 hours or whatever, I can show you. I'll do each layer at a time so you can see in my next video of how to harvest layered crops. Okay. So that's kind of cool, and I hope that helps you out. Thank you for watching, and happy farming, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.